Welcome to Base Watches, where affordability meets elegance. In this video, we unravel the secrets of style and sophistication, exploring one of the 5 watches that defy their price tags. Join us as we delve into the world of timepieces that look more expensive than they are, showcasing craftsmanship, design, and value. Whether you're a budget-conscious enthusiast or a lover of understated luxury, this guide will redefine your perception of affordable elegance. Let's embark on this journey of accessible sophistication together. The Orient Mako 2 does an excellent job of presenting a case profile that's familiarly accessible while still retaining some unique flair. Measuring 41.5 mm in diameter, 47 mm lug to lug, and 13 mm thick, the Orient Mako 2 is incredibly wearable with these classic dimensions. My favorite aspect of the case is how well the Orient Mako 2 transitions surface changes. For example, the case sides are highly polished, but the top of the case and lugs are matte brushed. The line between the two surface finishes is almost indistinguishable. The transition just seamlessly occurs without a harsh, sharp line transition point. It's a note of refinement that I feel like doesn't always get mentioned when folks are talking about the Orient Mako series. It's easy to miss, but there's a wonderful sunburst sheen effect on the dial. It adds a very dynamic fluidity to the blue hues of the piece. The rich blue creates an excellent contrast for the applied dial markers by allowing them to pop. The original Orient 46,943 caliber that launched with the Mako back in 2004 was actually a legacy Orient movement dating back to the 70s. In fact, the 46,943 is actually the result of Orient striking a technology licensing deal with Seiko for the brand's popular Seiko 7006 caliber. I'm honestly quite surprised with the Orient Mako 2 bracelet quality. To match the classic subtype case, the bracelet features oyster-style links. The tops of the links are brushed while the sides are polished. There are obvious pros and cons with the Orient Mako 2, however, this piece has something that many watches try for but can't achieve. The Tissot PRX is one of the few watches that comes without any caveats. Just a fun, well-designed, reasonably priced watch, a breed that sometimes feels in short supply nowadays. Let's start with the specs of the PRX Powermatic 35mm. It's 10.9mm thick and has a lug-to-lug of 39mm, but wears like 44mm long because the first bracelet link is fixed. The case finishing is familiar from the larger PRX. Mostly brushed, but with plenty of polished surfaces for contrast, including the bezel, case bevels, and inner flanks of the bracelet. The bracelet tapers nicely to a butterfly clasp. The clasp feels a bit plastic-y, and doesn't have the satisfying click of a more expensive bracelet, but I think such satisfaction costs more than $700 in 2023. There's no micro-adjust, but the bracelet links are relatively short and I didn't have a problem finding a nice fit. The same Powermatic 80 caliber, based on the Tissot 7.111, ticks inside the 35mm PRX, visible through a sapphire caseback. It has an 80-hour power reserve, modifying the standard ETA 2824 to be at a slower 3T. There's been some misconception that this movement is both not serviceable and contains plastic parts. In fact, the pallet fork and escape wheel are made of a synthetic material found in this entry-level version of the Powermatic 80 movement. If you want that 70s sports watch integrated bracelet look, the Tissot Powermatic 80 at 35mm seems to be in a class of its own. Seiko, a Japanese watchmaking giant founded in 1881, has earned a global reputation for its precision, innovation, and diverse range of timepieces. The case measures 40.5mm in diameter, 47mm from lug to lug, and 12mm in height. The entire case is highly polished stainless steel and the finishing is very good. I like the simple circular case shape, with the slim but sporty lugs. According to my guesstimation, at least 1.5mm of that 12mm height is occupied by the hardlex glass that sits upon the polished bezel. Flipping it over, you have a screw-down exhibition caseback that gives you a glimpse of the underwhelming but effective 6R35 movement. The crown does not screw into the case, and this watch is rated for up to 50 of water resistance, which is reasonable for this category of watch. The dial is beautifully designed, and if there's one thing that Seiko has mastered over the years, it is designing some of the best-looking dials in the business. This watch uses Seiko's 4R35B movement, which I believe is the latest in the 4R35 movement family. I'm not a Seiko expert, but I also believe that this movement is the Seiko-only version of the NH35 that we're all so fond of here in the micro-brand universe. I may have upset a few Seiko fans with this review, but I wanted to review one of these watches in the same manner I would any other watch that comes to me. When it was first introduced in 2004, the Seiko Supra set itself apart from numerous other dive watches in the brand's catalog mainly due to its case shape. This SRPB49 Supra, which was reintroduced in 2017, boasts the same case architecture that made the first one such a hit. Officially, the case is 43.8 mm in diameter, though depending on how you measure it, it may be more or less. Other case dimensions include a 48 mm lug-to-lug, 13 mm thick or tall, and 22 mm between the lugs, otherwise known as the strap size. While the Supra is by no means a small watch, it wears its dimensions quite well. Even before putting it on, the case looks quite large. However, on the wrist, the contours of the case help it mold around the wrist rather comfortably. This effect is mostly thanks to the lugs which are angled down into the wrist. The Seiko Supra SRPB49, as well as the SBDY7, is powered by an automatic, in-house Seiko 4R35 movement. It possesses a 41-hour power reserve. The Seiko Prospex Supra SRPB49 is a standout example of Seiko's prowess in crafting dive watches that marry functionality with style. Baltic is a relatively new player in the watchmaking industry, but it has quickly gained a reputation for producing high-quality, vintage-inspired timepieces. The Baltic Aquascaphe GMT is a testament to their dedication to craftsmanship and design. While they may not have the history of some more established brands, Baltic's commitment to quality is evident in the Aquascaphe GMT. Part of what endeared the original Aquascaphe to the masses was its case shape and size. At a very reasonable 39 mm in width and only 47 mm lug-to-lug, the Aquascaphe GMT is virtually the same as the original and wears well on all but perhaps the very largest wrists, presenting a vintage profile, also aided by an excellent, vintage-style, domed sapphire crystal, which still only brings the piece to a modest 12 mm thickness. The C125 is a 25-jewel automatic with 42 hours of power reserve and a familiar 28,800 rate. Similar to the relationship between the ETA 2892 and 2893, the C125 consists of a base movement with an added module for the GMT function. From the outset, Baltic has done a fine job in the strap and bracelet department, offering an excellent signed beads of rice bracelet that fits all of the brand's watches, something really convenient if you begin to collect them, as many do. For the ocean-going traveler, the Aquascaphe GMT is one of the most attractive options out there for a GMT diver, and it feels worth the somewhat higher price compared to the standard model. If you guys like this video or this video helped you, please give the video a like. Links to all the products mentioned are in the description below. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, I will see you guys later.